need to look at runners in two different classes. The first major class is going to be a runner that heel strikes. Now, these runners are usually the most problematic and hardest to shop for shoes with, because that heel strike leads to a lot of problems of supination, pronation. So the shoes that are going to help them are going to have some sort of motion control or stability. The best places to go are going to be at your local running store, where they can do a proper gait analysis and let you know which way your foot goes. These shoes are typically going to range between $90 to $120. Some great places here in Gainesville would be Lloyd Clark Sports on 13th Street and Gainesville Walking and Running down at the Town Yoga Center on Newberry. Without the proper control of the foot, when it heel strikes and it starts rolling towards the front of the foot, can put a lot of stress on the knee and the hips, back. A lot of things can go wrong. The other half of runners, or the other class of runners, would be those that strike on the midfoot or the forefoot. They're a lot easier to shoe shop for, and this is actually considered to be the ideal running method. And quite frankly, when I encounter somebody that's a heel striker, this is what I try to train them and work with them to become a midfoot striker. But we'll save that for another day. The midfoot, the shopping is really easy. The ideal shoe for them is going to be a nice lightweight shoe. It's going to be flexible. It's not going to be built up, and the best part about these shoes is that they're usually pretty cheap, $40 or less. You look at a lot of racing flats, they're going to be an appropriate shoe for this person. One of the biggest crazes going on in the running, one of the biggest crazes going out in the running world today is this whole barefoot trend. And we see some what are called Vibram Five Fingers. Nike has the Nike Freeze out there. What these shoes allow the foot to do is actually interact with the ground the way that it was originally intended to do. If you think about it, 40 years ago was the inception of Nike, and before that we really didn't have the modern running shoe. Marathons that were run in the early 20th century and the beginning of the Olympic Games, they were done in what looked more like wrestling shoes and leather slippers. So these people didn't have a lot of the problems that we see in runners today, and that's just really something important to think about. 10,000 years ago, were people running around in shoes? How were they able to survive? We wanted to stay with a minimal shoe, because one problem that they didn't have is broken glass and needles and other things that we see around here in our modern world. So it is kind of nice to have some protection, but we want to reenact that barefoot world as much as possible. So some things to look for when you go shopping for that shoe. Again, it's going to be lightweight, and you'll definitely notice a difference. There's going to be no built-up heel to it. It should be nice and flat down on the bottom, and you should be able to take that front toe box, curl it up, and bring it back into the shoe. You should be able to twist it this way and that way. When you put it on, you should feel like you have nothing on your feet.